Good evening, everyone. Welcome to Tuesday 10 with CadChica Sports. I am your host, Sunny Cadwallader, better known as CadChica. Tuesday 10 is a quick 10-minute chat, just 10 minutes, with leaders and up-and-comers in the world of sports, from media, broadcasting, business marketing, social media, and more. Tonight, my guest comes to us from the world of internet and social media marketing with a sports twist tonight. But before I bring him on, I am going to bring in a special guest. Yes, CadChica Sports has a guest co-host tonight. Believe it or not, my guest is Tariq Ahmad. Tariq, why don't you come in and join us?
Hey, Sonny, thank you for having me again.
Yeah,
I much appreciate it.
Hold on, let me do this right.
Oh, why aren't you just the kindest?
Just for this day.
Okay, well, thank you.
Why don't you tell everybody a little bit about yourself?
Sure, Tariq Ahmad, social media business manager for IBM. Currently live in New York City. Also created the SM Sports hashtag on Twitter. It's been up for a little bit over 3 years, has about 60,000 tweets on it and counting. Also host SM Sports Chat every Thursday at 9 p.m. Eastern, which focuses on sports and social media topics and issues, and also a social media adjunct professor at Columbia University here in New York City.
So he is the smart one here tonight, as is my guest. I am just the host and facilitating everything tonight. But we're going to have a good time. We're not talking about WWE tonight, Tariq.
It's okay. Maybe next time.
There we go. We will be doing a show about that as well, too. But before we go any further, let me bring in my guest. He comes to us from Phoenix, Arizona, which is my old stomping grounds. Everyone, please welcome in my guest, Clair Wyant. Hi, Clair.
Hi, how are you doing today?
Doing good?
Thanks, Claire.
We had to bring in the applause yet again, just for you.
Thank you very much.
How is everything going down in Arizona, my home?
It's good, but it's summer's here, so it's getting pretty hot out here already.
But it's a dry heat, right?
It is.
It's a very dry heat.
Don't have to worry much with the humidity. That's definitely a good part.
Well, why don't you tell everybody just a little bit about your background?
Sure. Well, I've been active off and on in following anything in digital media since the internet became how we know it right now. Back in the mid-'90s, I had my own website, which I had updated off and on. Of course, as time goes on and so forth, I gained some other interests and so forth. But about 5 years ago, though, I kind of caught the social media bug by participating when I joined Facebook and Twitter, participating in tweet-ups and so forth, and just learned a lot about social then. And then I came back to Arizona because I was living in the Boston area at the time, about 2.5 years ago, and thought it was a good time to do a career change. So I'm involved in internet marketing here in the Phoenix area. I've been involved in it for a few years now, and I greatly enjoy it and looking forward to providing some insight today.
Well, that's where we're going to steer our conversation. As I've become more invested in using Google+, I've been sharing about that on Twitter, and you're one of the few who is actually crossed over to the dark side with me. You're actually investing time here on Google+, but so you've got a pretty good handle on how teams and leagues are using all of the different platforms. Not to say that this is Google+, but is there one platform or platforms that teams, leagues, or athletes are not using effectively or could use better?
Well, I would actually throw in Google Plus in with that, simply because most of the content, to be honest with you here, is the same content I'm seeing, especially on Facebook, and also a little bit on Twitter and so forth. There's plenty of content out there, but obviously, just like with any type of organization, obviously you have to look at internal resources and so forth. But if resources are there to go ahead and produce some more content, put that on Google Plus, because personally, I'm connected up with the team on Facebook. I'm connected with them on Twitter. I'm on Instagram and so forth.
Yes.
I'm not getting anything new whatsoever off of the Google Plus platform. Plus, you do have the Hangout feature, which could be used greatly for possible interactions or conferences such as this with players or general managers or even like legends, for instance, and front office people.
That's a good point. Tariq, I know you had a question for Claire. Why don't you bring up that question now?
Sure, Claire. So this question gets asked a lot in the sports social media realm and in the social media realm in general, the vaunted ROI question, so return on investment. So kind of a two-part question for you. One, should teams really look into ROI as a monetary value? And if so, how do they do it? And then two, if they don't look at it as a monetary value, what can be their ROI? Should it be like a return on brand? Should it be return on relationship? Should it just be engagement? How do you see playing out?
Well, that would really depend on what the team is, what the league is, and what type of fan base that they have, and so forth. If you already have an invested fan base that's going to be going to all your games, regardless of wins or losses, then it's more of you're trying to reconnect with your respective fan base and give them another access point to the team, like show behind the scenes footage to give more information on what's going on with the team. Keep in mind too, all these organizations, they give the media a lot of this type of info. Why not try to give some of the info over to the marketing team, make some sort of graphics, or even just plain simple text if that's the last resort, on just like the little nuggets and so forth. Because our culture right now in the sports area, it's getting more and more numbers, more and more analytics, and that's something that people really embrace more. And again, like I mentioned, putting different type of content on various types of platforms there. I think that's personally a gold mine there. But if you are a team though that you're still trying to gain some sort of traction and so forth, it can be used still as a big way to measure ROI. Actually, bear with me here. Let me go back and talk about what I was saying earlier. The way to measure ROI for the teams already invested is just simply social engagement, plain and simple. At any rate, though, back to what I was talking about here regarding the teams that need a little bit more investing. With them, though, they would want to look at the try to see what they could do to try to get ticket sales. Still try to go ahead and try to connect, show how they're connecting up with the respective communities. Still show the behind the scenes things. But then that's where some of the promotion, which I know a lot of people don't really quite like, could come into play for ticket sales, merchandising, and so forth. So with that there, not only look at your engagement, but also look at some of the dollars and cents. You can track easily, well, how many people are buying because they clicked on a link or something like that. So
with the NFL draft coming up this week, big, huge build up to this point. Thankfully, we are finally almost to draft night. Is there anything you're looking for the league itself or teams to use on social media to interact with fans, or is there something you wish that they would do more of, bringing it into and tying it around the draft?
Well, I would kind of go back and talk about, again, trying to stay visual. Like, for instance, with this Google Plus Hangouts, have a Google Plus Hangout with some of the scouts and general managers and so forth. But then on top of that too, show behind the scenes footage of some of the various draft parties and so forth. And when you're dealing with that, there, you're bringing the people in, because you have to keep in mind, not everybody's in your particular locale, and not everybody has the ability to go to these draft parties and all. So it's good to show people behind the scenes footage. Once when the player's drafted, show some sort of background information on the player. Either like a college graphic picture, or even better, like take some time to get some sort of graphic going on stats and so forth. And then of course, again, the first couple of picks, they're all going to fly in for their press conferences and so forth. That's another opportunity for more visuals. I know I'm emphasizing visuals a lot, but people love visuals when they're dealing with social. That's what gains the most engagement. And as far as I'm concerned here, if you're not trying to reach out engagement, why are you on social in the first place? So
good point. That's a great point. And just wanted to before I do have one more question for you. Before I do that, just want to give a quick shout out to a few people. Stan Bush is in the house. Yes, Stan, I said 10 minutes. Thank you so much for joining us tonight. Let's see, Cheryl Deuce is in the house. Jessica Duell is in the house, so we are excited. And Cheryl has one comment for you, Claire. That's right, Claire. Google Plus does bring something new, and it most definitely it does bring something new to the table. My last question for you has to do continuing with the NFL draft. You are a New England Patriots fan. What are the Patriots going to do?
I have no idea what they're going to do, and I have no idea what anybody else is going to be doing either. Obviously, you saw the offense that they had last year. So, like, no matter who Brady gave the ball to, things happen. But we still don't have like a solid running back and tight end. We have a number of players injury prone, like Gronk, for instance. In the NFL with teams. It's not a defensive game anymore. You have the Seahawks. It's probably Seahawks, maybe Broncos, as some of the few defensive teams. Try to help beef up some of the defense, because that's going to be the decision liar come January and February on who wins it all. Who has defense, and if it's multiple teams, which one's better?
I just have to say that took a lot for me as this Raiders fan to ask that Patriots question. So thanks, Claire, for putting up with that question from me. Claire, thanks for joining us tonight. Why don't you let everybody know how they can connect with you?
Well, I have a website, www.clairwyant.com. Obviously, you can connect with me right here on the Google Plus platform. I have actually 2 Twitter handles, believe it or not. I have what I might call the personal one, which is ClairDog, CLAIRDOGG. And I have another one that's only for technology, digital, social media, and internet marketing wise, and that is my name, Clair Wyant.
Well, thank you again for joining us. Tariq, thanks for being my guest co-host tonight. Let everybody know how they can connect with you.
Sure. You can connect with me on Twitter at Tariq_Ahmad, TARIQ_AHMAD. You can also connect with me here on Google Plus and LinkedIn with the username Tariq Ahmad1 with the number 1 on the end.
And I am going to get you on Google Plus more, because we have been having this conversation over on Twitter, a few of us, that I'm not a WWE fan, but you are. Derek Dockett is. Dr. Jimmy Sanderson is. There's a bunch of you, and we're going to call it Wrestling and Randomness. So we're going to have a Wrestling and Randomness show coming up sometime in the next couple of weeks. It's going to be a hot mess kind of a show, but we're going to have fun. So my thanks to Claire, my thanks to Tariq for joining me tonight. Be sure to connect with me. If you have not circled me here on Google+, please do so. You'll be able to keep track of when my next show is, which happens to be tomorrow night. It is the First and 60 show with an audible called the First and 30 Show. Me and my partner, Russell S. Baxter, will be holding a 30-minute NFL draft talk with 3 NFL experts. It's going to be jam-packed, full of information, helping you get ready for the NFL draft on Thursday night. Please also check out my website, CadChicaSports.com, where my latest post documents the partnership between Google and the NFL Players Association. 20 future NFL players will be hosting Google Plus Hangouts right here on Thursday, Friday, and Saturday. So it's going to be an exciting time. It's a new thing here on Google Plus, and I think it's going to be the beginning of sports coming over here to the Plus. So thank you, everyone. Tune in next Tuesday when my guest will be author and sports writer and radio host Russ Cohen, because it's the Cup kind of talk coming your way next on the next Tuesday 10 show. Thanks, everyone.